wanted to make a quick video just to discuss a nasty bug that seems to be around in Horizon 6 and looks to be affecting more and more players as time goes on. So there's a bunch of posts doing the round on multiple platforms. And in one of those posts, the op had reached out to support and received a response with a resolution. So he posted that, and I want to go through that support response with you so you can get an idea of what Playground Games are able to do for you if you do run into this bug, and show why it's a good idea to do everything you can to avoid it, because the situation you end up in is not great. And unfortunately, they're not able to put you back in a situation where you can just pick up where you left off prior to experiencing the bug. But the good news is across the many reports I've seen, there's definitely some common themes that seem to be contributing to people running into it. So we'll go through some things that you can do that will hopefully minimize your chance of losing progress. So let's go through the support response and what the resolution was. They confirm they're unable to restore any lost progress. So unfortunately, they don't have a backup of your cloud save or anything like that they can revert to. What they can do is have a look at their data and see what cars you owned, how much credits you had, and wheel spins, and they'll send them back to you. And I think in these cases, they also send you a bunch of extra wheel spins and super wheel spins, a bunch extra, to try and compensate for what's happened. They mention you need to have access to the online features in order to be able to redeem these gift messages. So because you're starting the game again from scratch, basically, you need to progress the tutorial events and I think the Horizon qualifiers before you'll be able to go in and actually receive the messages. They mention here they're not able to send back barn find cars, but the op of this post did mention he did get his barn find cars back. So I assume they're using an old template from the previous games where they weren't able to do this, but it looks like with Horizon 6 they will be able to send the barn find cars back to you. Unfortunately, it's not the same case for player homes. They can't restore access to those, so you'll need to progress the story before you'll be able to purchase those homes again. They confirm they're not able to send back any liveries, designs, upgrades, or tunes. So if you're the type of player that creates personal liveries for yourself, upgrades your cars a lot, or creates tunes for yourself that you don't share, likewise with estates and garages, anything you create for yourself and haven't shared online, that will all be lost. The next section I found quite interesting. It looks like the way they need to get this stuff back to you is to send you individual messages, for example, for each car that you have in your garage. So that means if you have 300 or 400 cars now and run into this bug, you're going to have to manually accept 300 to 400 individual messages, which sounds like a major pain. Finally, they mention if you manage to accidentally delete any of the gift messages, they're not able to resend those to you, I guess to prevent people exploiting that. But if you did have auto show car vouchers, you're able to recover those, and they send you the FAQ on what you need to do to get them back. Given the potential impact this bug can have, I think it's really important to do whatever you can to try and avoid running into it. The first thing I'd recommend, and I'd say this is pretty much essential, is disable quick resume on console for Horizon 6. So you can do this on a per game basis. You want to go to your FH6 tile, hit the menu button, go to manage game and add-ons, quick resume settings, and you'll be able to disable it there for Horizon 6. The next thing I'd advise is avoid switching apps during play. This is for console users. I saw quite a few reports of people having trouble when they switched to Spotify to do something and then switched back. So switching to apps like Spotify doesn't invoke the quick resume mechanism, but these people still ran into problems. So when they tried to go back to Horizon, they got a message about not having enough save space for the save to be created, even though they had plenty of free space. So something messed up there and the saves got corrupted and they basically lost everything. So until there is some word from Playground Games on what's happening with this, I would avoid switching apps if possible. The third thing relates to crossplay and just exercising some caution around that. So if you're going from Xbox to your PC and then back to your Xbox, allow some time for the server side to sync. So when you're going from one platform to the other, just give it a little bit of time. Don't do it straight away. And the last thing for PC players, fortunately, you can back up your local save files, and I'd highly recommend doing this. So the path you want to go to is your system drive, which is normally C drive, then the Xbox games folder, game save folder, PGS folder. There will be a folder under that named U underscore and a bunch of numbers. That will vary by user. Just back up that whole folder and you'll be able to revert to that if you're unfortunate enough to lose all your progress. You can sync that back to the cloud and you should be okay. Hopefully we hear from Playground Games regarding this bug and what the status is on their side and when potentially we can expect a fix. But until that time, I would highly recommend taking these precautions that are relevant to you, and hopefully it will help minimize your chance of losing progress.